Welcome to the channel, viewers. Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. I've never seen anything good come out of drugs, ever. Not one thing good have I seen come out of alcohol, drugs, medications, and any of those types of down that road of destruction. And you'll get people that will try and have a relationship with you that what I call functioning addicts or functioning alcoholics. And they know all the right things to say at the start. They do know the right things to say at the start, but then when it comes to unresolved and having to resolve things and get things right, it's not in them. It's not there. It's not in them to do that. They don't know how to equate how to do that. They just don't seem to be able to comprehend what resolve is, what it means, what they'll lose if they don't do it, what they'll gain if they do. And when it's in a triangulated situation, when you've got interferers and things like this, that can really, really complicate things, because then the it's not between you and the person, it's between the person and somebody else, and it's at your detriment. And these people don't seem to care about what the detriment is if they have favour towards the interferer. And this is the big thing now, because a lot of these single mothers are wrongly bonded to their children. And these wrong bonds and soul ties with their children are overriding their adult responsibilities and decision making. And they're losing their relationships to protect the feelings of their children. I'm going to say that again. Single mothers are losing their relationships to protect the dysfunctional feelings of their children, the illegitimate feelings of their children, the feelings that their children are getting because mummy's got a partner. And I'm going to keep sharing this message because I've seen the damage that these mummies, boys, and these single mothers are doing in their wrong bondedness, in their emotional incestual bonds. I've seen nothing good come out of any of it. Nothing. Drugs, alcohol, medication, psychiatrists, loss of licenses, court cases, no license, unmotivated. All these dysfunctional things. Just complete, utter dysfunction. And you'll see these people improving and healing. You'll see them healing. They're actually healing. Their lives are turning around. And they gravitate and default back to their habits, their destruction. It's absolutely mind-boggling in a world where time shouldn't be wasted. These people end up with people that are, just not going to get anywhere in life. You can't help them, you can't change them. And it's not your job to do that or think that. You're just trying to have a healthy relationship and build something positive out of the time that you have together, and you can't. It's just not geared up for that to happen anymore. And these people want to be stoned. They're better off with people that get stoned with them, because then they can both just waste their time and their lives. I've never been an advocate of drugs and alcohol, even from a young age, and I'm 57 now. And I'm just getting more and more against it as it increases in its penetration into our communities and societies. No good has come out of any of it. And you see these young people, they're stuffed before they start. They're relying on drugs and medications. Their mothers are running them around to psychiatrists and psychologists, and they're fucking other people's lives up. You've really got to be strong. You've really got to be aware that there is a devil, and he's at work. He's busy doing his business to ruin things and bring things down for people. And you have to keep coming back to yourself. You have to get up each day, eat well, exercise, stay close to God, stay close to His Spirit. Try and do something to help someone that's going to benefit them in the long run, so that they don't come undone. You know, there's no room for dilly-dallying around and pretending. Time's too short, life's too short. The consequences of being off guard or not being on game are too big. These consequences are too big and too hard. And it's not worth the reward. Being half-hearted, being dilly-dallying around and bringing death on yourself is not worth the rewards. Sickness, embarrassment, being demoralized. They don't think people notice. They just don't think people notice the things they say, the things they do and don't do. For a lot of these people, it's better for them not to say anything or do anything, and that benefits them in a way in which they last longer in the relationship, because as soon as they open their mouth, things go to pieces on them quite quick. Things begin to collapse on them quite quick, and they begin to come undone pretty quick. People who don't take drugs are much better off than those that do. The consequences of these behaviours do really wear into the people's lives that they're disrupting and stirring up, starting with themselves. And it is all too easy to just come back to yourself. Have value for yourself and come back to yourself. It's not all that hard. It's not that difficult, and it's worth it. Take the dog for a walk. Walk along the water. Do things that are constructive. These things aren't that hard. But they are. They are in a society where the mindsets of people aren't in that direction, in that poised to do that. Then viruses come through and sicknesses come through, and People get sick and start to crash and get ill. People don't want to live up to their commitments and health or happiness. They begin to fade away from themselves. People faint. One minute they're standing there, the next minute they're just fainting, falling to the ground, crawling back to their drug of choice. Do it all again, get sicker, things get darker. And the light that's at the end of the tunnel, they just turn away from. They cover their eyes from it. They've got low self-esteem. They expect to be tossed to the side, kicked to the curb, used and abused. A lot of these people are degenerate, demonized, narcissistic. They don't care what happens to themselves, so they don't care what happens to anybody else around them, except for their spoiled children, adult children that can't manage themselves, and they've got a conscience about that because they've shown them the wrong way. And everybody just ends up maimed and harmed, and life's gone. Sickness and illness takes over. They lose the respect of everyone around them. They've pulled everyone down, that there's no one left. They look at each other sitting at home and go, how did we end up like this? There's ashtrays full of cigarette butts, empty bottles, the clanging of bottles in the bin, takeaway food, wrappers, wasted money everywhere. Everything's wasted. Nothing's been used the way that it should. And the cycle of waste goes on and on and on. And before they realize, life's gone. It's just gone. It's just all gone. But you need to stay fit, be well, eat well, exercise, sleep, get plenty of sleep, leave your mind alone. Don't put things that interfere with your mind in your system. Stay positive. Stay aware of the increase in narcissism in our communities now and the damage that it's doing. If you're in a situation and there's no resolve, the first sign of trouble is unresolved. If there's a problem that needs to be fixed and you've asked for it to be fixed and that person's not fixing it, that's going to cause PTSD or CPTSD. Because it's going to torment your mind and start to damage your mind and wear away at your mind. You're in with the wrong people and they're unhealthy. They're selfish and they really don't understand what you're in their life for. You need to save yourself. Pull back. Detach micro-incrementally. Realize that you're with the wrong people. Start to focus on other things. Just make it aware to these people. I don't think that we're right for each other or you're doing me any good. And find your way into your new life. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. Bye for now.